Well, God's blessings to you. Today we are featuring a classic work from John Angel James called an Earnest Ministry, The Want of the Times. Now, this is a classic piece of literature that was published back in 1847. The Banner of Truth Trust reprinted that. So thankful for that. Reprinted this work in 1993. And the Banner of Truth, what an amazing publishing company, the Banner of Truth, because they have really done such a fantastic job at reprinting some of these great old classics, and for reprinting them and repackaging them and putting these books out for modern society in the 20th and 21st century. They started doing that in the, I would say, mid 1960s. The Ian Murray co-founded the Banner of Truth. And so this is just one of the many works that they have reprinted and put out. So, an Earnest Ministry. What is this book about? Well, let's talk about it a little bit. Basically, the foundation of the book is focusing on the fact that in the mid 19th century, there were just a lot of dead churches out there. There were not a lot of conversions as a result of preaching. And so the focus is really on the preaching aspect of the ministry. And what effective preaching does is it is spirit filled, and it's more than just words from the pulpit. True, the point is made in the book that really effective preaching will have sincere and authentic feeling behind the words, and that'll come out. Most preachers, successful preachers and pastors, will tell you that any successful sermon they give was clearly due to God's work and not their own work. No matter how much preparation the pastor puts into his sermon, the actual effectiveness in communicating it is due to the Holy Spirit. 100% due to the Holy Spirit. But I just wanted to get back to the point about feelings behind words. There have been a number of successful pastors who have been able to accomplish that. Well, where do those feelings come from? They come from the Holy Spirit. You look at some of today's pastors, like John Piper, who is now still in the ministry, obviously, after more than 50 years. He just really authentically wore his heart on his sleeve in his preaching. And that is what made his churches and his congregations alive. Even his successor, who I think so highly of, Jason Meyer, who preached at Bethlehem Baptist in Minneapolis, St. Paul, in their downtown campus. Again, another great example of authentic feelings behind words. And James makes the point in this book that is what makes for an earnest ministry. So I would encourage you to check this out. Great classic reprint. Slightly difficult reading because it is Old English, and so, but once you've gotten a lot of practice reading Old English, the discernment certainly takes place. So I would encourage you to read this, pick it up, An Earnest Ministry, The Want of the Times.